you know, just more notifications. I wanted to see. I'll be damned, it actually shows you where all of the screw hole covers should go. I did not expect that. Not at all. Okay, so you definitely clap that on that way. Okay. And I guess I'll do all the screw hole covers later. Oh, I see what they do. They conveniently... Huh. Alright, I see. I see you, Planet X. I see you. Okay. So that needs to stay down. And this is just going to take some force, I suppose. Like a terrifying amount of force. Legit scared. Like I don't like it when something takes a lot of force to install. It doesn't instill any feelings of greatness. I'm trying to push only against this. Progress. Yeah. Gonna be honest, that is scary. So the biggest reason to fear this is that I don't want this to shatter. And there's a hard mold line across that, which is definitely what would happen 100%. I can see there. Honestly, considering just shaving down a little bit here. Just take off a little, just for this reason. It happens. It does happen where you just gotta accommodate. And it's not like it's gonna be a big problem. It's going over that hinge there. Just kind of. And I don't want to put undue pressure on these wings to do it either. Oh. Yeah, shaving that down just a little bit made the difference. Okay. Oof. Yep, that took a buttload of paint off when I did that, so yeah. Took paint off of the inside of that hinge, so totally makes sense. Alright. So that's good. Now I can smell his own butt. I think that's what you're supposed to do with his butt, make him smell it, right? Head facing inward or head facing straight down? Possibly straight down and inverted, which actually makes a lot more sense. Turn the head this way and make him elongate. So, while you can have him smelling his own butt, I think that is technically the proper way to do that. Which actually makes sense because once this flips over, that'll be facing the right way. Okay, so screw hole covers are all over the place. What it is. I'm gonna start where like 90% of these guys do, and that's with the tucking the hands away. Because usually that's a pretty simple starting point. Get all these batteries put away. Okay, so in theory we have this. Looks like it opens up, but how? Okay, so we do that. Then we can rotate that, opening that up. Aha. But then we got to rotate the fist in like so, and then we have a dino foot. Very nice. Very nicely done there. And then that'll tab in under there. That tabs in there. Huh, cool. Not what I expected. I like it. Okay, so that's good there. So open that one. Rotate down. That gives us access there. Flip it this way, as you guys can see on camera. Oh, finger got caught up. Always make sure your fingers are clear. That is a much tighter fit going that way though. Okay, so snug that up there. And then there's a hole here. It's a double-ended ball joint hinge. And then that's how you close that up into there. Getting the foot, and then we close the back of the foot. I dig that. I dig that. That's cool. Okay, now I have no idea what else to do. I did see in the instructions that to turn the head around and then the entire backpack, I guess, comes down. So I've definitely got a hinge there for sure. Can this come apart? Something wants to move. Definitely cut out here. There's a hinge right there that I can see. And of course from the factory everything is super tight, like you'd expect. Arms are going numb from leaning on the counter. It's definitely a problem. Because at some point the area around the head here has to develop 4 holes for these posts to go into. I have no idea where that's going to come from, to be totally honest. Also not entirely certain where these guys are supposed to go. Perhaps this way? Perhaps like this? Nope. Don't know. There's a lot of pivoting and hinging that can be done here. Okay, it's not that big a deal. Rotate. There we go. Okay, so this form normally the dino foot is a lot shorter in the front. Does that get stubbier? I mean, I have a feeling like most of his transformation is going to be on the back. Oh, by the way, does he have doesn't have any torso move. So the whole torso must move, because I can see. Okay. Okay, so there's a big hinge here, so there has to be torso movement. Very carefully prying that off. Okay, so I've got what appears to be oh yeah. I didn't realize we had a big ass ab crunch here. Right, I gotta put this back on. Thank God it's just ball joints. Okay, so with that, so the hinge is here. That is in there. That piece feels sketchy at best. So I don't want to push down on that to break anything free. I doubt it's just gonna slide, right? Does he have... Oh, he does have upper body movement. No shit, okay. So he's got a lot of articulation, but you can't have that plugged in to make that happen. Okay, I'm gonna resort to instructions a little bit here. If I reach an impasse, that's when the instructions come out. Okay, so that says all of the blue thing, yoink. Head forward. Oh, the head tilts forward? Rotate it, then move that whole thing. Maybe that unlocks it. Maybe the whole thing that the head is on. Comes up. Ah, shit. Pointy. Does it even look like it moves? Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. Ah, there we go. Good to know. Alright, so there's now two posts right there. That is terrifying, by the way. Okay, and then now that that's open, this is now back. It does not move, it just hinges out. So does the dino head... Oh, flips away. Hold on. Will that give me more room? Yes. Okay, so good to know. Do it that way. Clearance problems as usual. Would expect nothing less. Okay, so where do these guys go then? Because there's not like a double hinge there. There's just the hinge. You can't go back into the same spot. Oh, I guess you can. Well, I proved myself wrong. Okay, so the dino head comes right back up and over. And there's definitely 4 holes for it to plug into. But these, I thought, ended up on the back. Are they on the chest? Good question. Nope, they go on the back. How the fuck did they end up on the back? Okay. Oh, that's his. This is his back, not his front. Okay. Good to know. So I don't have to go that way then. This is the belly, not the spine. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. So once again, those need to, or those are supposed to, drop into the 4 holes that I've just revealed. But they don't. At all. Just strange. Okay, so does this move about in any other ways? Suppose not. Because the shoulder bits get in the way. Okay. And these posts, there's 2 holes on the other side of that I'm fairly sure. Hold on. I gotta wonder. Does it turn at the base of the neck? Is that what's supposed to happen? Because that seems to make the most amount of sense. Yeah, I bet that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Because he's got a screw in the base of his neck, which leads me to believe that the whole head turns. Or the whole neck turns. Either turns or does something else. Because that's wonky. Okay. Once again, consult the instructions before I get too far. I don't want to break anything by chance. Okay, so turn the head 180 and pull the head forward. Yeah, it's showing a big gap between the head and the neck. So something is different here. Something ain't right. That would also explain why there's no clearance for the head to go into the chest. It's not a sliding joint, so it's got to be something else. Got screwdrivers here. So the only thing I can think is that the actual neck itself rotates, not just the ball joint for the head. Could be wrong though. That's the hard part, because otherwise that ain't going in there. The only other thing I could consider is that this part itself is on backwards. Nope, that can't be right either. I mean, maybe the neck is on backwards, which entirely possible. QC issues. They are what they are, and I think the screwdriver I need is in the other room. Let's see here. Can I get in there? This little guy. Nope. Can I get in there with this guy? Yes. Okay, so don't drop him. All right. Always fun taking apart your new toy. Oh yeah, the whole neck is supposed to spin. Okay, yep, that's what's going on. Yeah, the whole thing is meant to spin. It's just a little tight, I suppose. So if this is back like this, that's correct. So it needs to be turned around like that. Yeah, so it was turning only at the, that needs like a dab of oil or something to help it. Do I have anything, I can just... Okay, so got some 3-in-1 oil. Probably not the best solution, but it's the only solution I've got currently. And in theory, it won't eat you. In theory, it won't eat the plastic. That is a lot. But that's what the towel is for. Okay. In reality, I probably want to use some grease, not oil, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's line it back up and hope for the best. Well, it went in a hell of a lot easier than it came out, so why not? Okay. It's like, but that explains, like, it's like, why is it so hard to friggin' get where it's supposed to go? Like, something is not lining up. So it takes an engineering degree, right? Okay. So, not the best small screwdriver I've got, but it works. Okay, so now what I have here is the head, when in bot mode, is forward like this, but then what you want is to rotate the entire structure, which doesn't just turn. Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to turn that. Like, the head ball joint is not strong enough to turn that thing. Okay. Oh, that made it go a little. Oh, okay. How about I do this? How about I just loosen that a taste? Because presumably that screw is also part of the equation. I just didn't think about it until just now. There. That might make it a lot easier to turn, in theory. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. I got her done. Alright, so now we have head on backwards. Clears all of that nice and easy. And we bring this up and it plugs back into there. Gotta love repairing your brand new toys. I mean, as much as that is a repair, you know. Okay, so with that in place, now I can bring this over, and in theory it'll be in the right spot to plug those in. Like I said, in theory. Didn't know about it in practice. But yeah, getting those 4 posts plugged in, I think, is about as tight as it's going to get. I don't know if it can get in there all the way. Call that good, I guess. Alright, so with the gold bit, it's on a hinge, right? Yeah. Forget how that was attached. Oh yeah, it's inside the chest. That's right. So, oops. I forgot that was on a collapsible slider that goes inside. Right? Yep. So how the hell do you get it out after the fact? Because this has to go on the outside of this again, like it was in the packaging. Okay, so those were kind of plugged in. Okay, that's good. Alright, so let's pry this baby back out. Okay, so now I've got movement here. That's good. And I think that's literally as far as that goes. Okay. So bring this back down. That fits a lot better now. Alright, so presumably shoulders up. These back. Shoulders up. And oof. How did I get that through so nice the first time? Oh, I don't know. Yep. And that right there is what I was worried about. Don't pull on the shoulders. Or on the, okay. There we go. That's our clearance zone. So you gotta utilize biceps and all of the shoulder joints available, because it's more than just the one. Okay, and if you gotta get that out of the way, you gotta get it out of the way. Okay. Alright, so that brings us around over here. These look like they're gonna tab into that. Yep, for sure. Okay, so this needs to be up. What am I not clearing? Here. Okay. That's shoulders down. This is where I get confused. So in theory, this sits there in that groove. Yep, it do. Okay. And we squeeze all of that together. Yep. And then these tab onto our friends there. There we go. Okay, so those three specifically have to lock onto there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I guess this just does whatever it wants. Yeah, these just tuck down in there like that. Whew, okay, so there's this. I mean, like, we got Dino Head here. Now I have zero clue what to do with these shoulders. I mean, in theory, these are just down like that, right? Oh, forward. Okay, so those go forward somehow. Okay. So if I just look at the images here, it does help to just have a picture, best case scenario. Get an idea what I gotta do. Oh shit, nuggets, I forgot to get the cannons out. That would be why it was resisting. Shit. When in doubt, get your cannons out. Also, maybe that wasn't that big a deal, because maybe that didn't crush anything. Or get crushed by anything. But I bet it'll be a hell of a lot easier to close. Oh, look there. Whoops. That makes so much more sense. Oh, I missed the neck. If you don't get it in the neck part, then it's kind of pointless. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot easier now. Oh, and then that just rocked out to the position it's supposed to be in. So that's good too. Alright. So get that there, that there, that there. That was also not a good sound. Okay, so cannons. How do these work? I see a hinge. I see a flappy flap. Ah, okay. Neat. Very simple. Cannon. Straightforward. Weird, once again. But I do think that it's interesting that I found a way to go ahead and not utilize those and try to break the whole damn thing all at once. Okay, so once again, come back to the shoulders. It does look like he's just shoulder there, like that, and bicep swivel forward, elbow like that for the most part. Feels like that should move. Maybe it will. Then the shoulder armor basically just up like that. I guess it'll just depend on how high up you go with it. So there's that. All right. So far, not as complicated as Grimlock for sure was. At least in my opinion. Okay, let's go ahead and free up the neck again like I did earlier. I'm trying to remember, one of the... Hell, it might have actually been Grimlock. Is this... Can this rotate? It... Yeah. Oh, dear God, that is a hefty fucking ratchet joint. Okay. Alright, terrifying. Once again, terrifying. I don't know which way. Is that supposed to... Whoa. I don't think that's supposed to slide up and out like that. It looks like that whole part of the neck does maneuver that way. The weird part is how short the back of the head is. That's the only thing I find very strange. It's just that design. Okay, so we've got the front half taken care of, and since I now know that I think I missed something. Hold on. Don't tell me I'm supposed to do the legs first, because that would be very annoying. Okay, so I already know that I have to do this. I don't know why, but that's just how it always fucking goes. Yep. Okay, so that just unplugs entirely. Alright. And we're gonna have split up one way then the other. How are we doing this? Okay, so from what I can see, there's block tabs here and there. So that leads me to believe that what I want to do is leg out and turn inward like that. And it's the side skirts, I'm sorry, the front skirts themselves that will actually hold it in place. Yep, that is exactly what I'm seeing. That is crazy. Oh, those are all on little sliders. Interesting. Okay. This is definitely different, and I'm going to be honest, I hate the way it feels. It does not feel sturdy as of yet. Okay, so I want that tabbed in there. Yep, okay. That tabbed in there, and then this will close down, holding that. And by the way, I did that without doing the lower part of the legs, which I'm pretty sure I was supposed to do already. So let's just go ahead and do that before I completely solidify whatever the heck's happening with these hips. But I'm glad I figured that out. It's just an insane way to have engineered that. Okay, so if I have to assume that the tail, all of this comes out like so, rotate outward, fix that, no big deal. Hopefully don't scrape the shit out of all that beautiful silver paint. Okay, I've got a cover inside here that does something. Still believe that that tabs in somehow, some way. Doesn't feel like it wants to untab though. See, this tabs in over here. And like I said, I'm fairly certain this has to split, because there's definitely this hingy bit here. So I have a whole dino leg inside this part. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So that did tab in there. Alright. You die cast. Okay. I see you. Alright. So gotta watch where that neck is going. Alright, I have a flippy flap here that's gonna come out and it's gonna fill this. And that's going to tab into something. I've got a big ass ball joint right here, which is probably for all of this to open up and swivel. So that is held in place by just this over here. Is that all that holds it together? Or maybe this is stationary and this moves. Hold on. I can see the tabs. So the question is, what is meant to move? Okay, so that's our whole hingy bit. Okay, so bring this out. Okay, so that's going to cover the whole back of the leg. And that's a double swing out joint there. Like I said, this ball joint has to go somewhere. So that's on the joint there. Oh, I see what's going on. The knee itself is holding everybody in place. Yep, okay. So, does this spin? The correct question is, how does this spin, actually? It's like, yes, it does. I just need to figure out the full range of motion, because that's not going to turn, and that would be scary. Okay, so that won't go past there. So I need to see what's what. Okay, I see what's going on. So this needs to turn down, then that needs to spin there, and then that's going to rotate out. And there's our tail. Got it. And it's this giant ball joint that all of this is attached to. That's funny. Okay, so let's get this dino leg situated. This is definitely a unique transformation for Sludge. I don't think I've ever transformed a Sludge like this. And also, all of that noise. Okay, so this whole panel, just going to double hinge and close down on this, but I bet there's just a clearance problem there, which is entirely why they did it this way. Okay. So here's one problem. Cast joints inside of plastic joints. Die cast inside of plastic is terrifying. Okay. So close this bad boy up. Okay. And then that foot will turn Not entirely certain which direction the back legs are supposed to fit, so that's fine. Definitely some grease in there at some point. Okay, in theory, this is just all gonna fold up, yeah? Yep, that's all just gonna fold away. Okay, so I've got external tabs that are gonna close around this, so I can see that is gonna do that number. That's usually how these things go. I've got tabs and posts that will scissor into that. Oh yeah, this is scary, to say the least. Okay, so maybe that's why this has to open, is to go around that whole thing. Okay. Okie dokie. So the part I'm kind of lost on is how the hell am I supposed to make those connections in there with all of this going on? Okay, so those tabs go into the crotch plates there. Oh, I have it upside down. Even better. Even better. It's supposed to rotate at the waist 180 at some point in all of this. Well, better late than never. You know. That makes sense. Okay. So I'm like 85% of the way there. Because I'm thinking that there's no way in hell you can maneuver all this stuff. Like, how the hell are you supposed to get this chunk of leg inverted and inside that and tabbed into that all at the same time? That is crazy, man. Same with the top and the bottom, I think. No. Okay, so this is a consulting instructions time, I think, because I feel like the only way that I can get, because you have to get all of these bits lined up at the exact right time. I don't see how the hell you do that. Like, because you got to get all of the side skirts and everything all have to be in the right spot for these hips to do what they got to do. Like that. And then, same with the back. Because the other thing is you have to tab the legs together all at the same time too. So, like I said, I can see how it's supposed to work. I just don't get when you're supposed to do it all. Maybe that's why this flap is here, is for this final little tab together moment. Okay, so line that up. Oh, and I still have to get the bottom in the right spot too, because you gotta get that big ass tab lined up, which I don't even have a clue how the hell you're supposed to get that in there. Yeah, how? So the biggest issue is you see these big tabs here. Those have to go inside the leg of or the shell of the leg. And then you've got these rather large guys down here that have to go in there. Like that, like what I just did. How are you supposed to get all of that lined up. I guess. There's no way you can do it from... Alright. I mean, I've got the idea. I have the idea of what to do. But this is where I need to consult which way you're supposed to finish it up. Yeah, so front of the body first. Okay. Okay. So, you definitely have to have it effectively ready to go. Flip the whole thing in and out. Okay. Alright. I see sort of what they want to do. Okay. So you need to have the neck extended, leg out, tail out, flap out. Got that. Okay. Turn all of that out. Collapse all that. Get your foot out. So basically I need to have, go ahead and get the hips taken care of, and then I can, or let me extend, let me get this part done like I've got this part done, and then that'll be good to go, basically. Ow. That hurts. Okay, so extend that guy. Where's the ball joint? There, okay. Okay, lift that up. Okay. Now, go ahead and get that. Take that down. No clue where the foot's supposed to go, just out and down is all I got covered so far. Okay, and then fold this guy in and down, so that's good. Okay, so now we've got both legs at the same point, and then we need to go ahead and do the hip part here. Get the hips just 100% lined up and locked in place from both ends, which is not easy. Okay, there we go. Now I can do it. Everybody's on a little slider of their own, so you just gotta make sure. Oh, that would be what I'm fighting against here. Okay, so got that. If I line them up with the center posts first, I bet it'll make life easier. There, fine. Okay, shit. Alright, let's get the bottom ones in. Get the... I have no idea where the hips are supposed to go. Where the hip skirts are supposed to go. Up and out. I don't know. Shit. Hit the camera. Big robots do big things. Okay. So, now that the hips are locked into place, I'm supposed to plug these together, which, to be fair, I can't see. Can't see the post to tab them together. There we go. This is not easy. This is going to be a nightmare on camera. Especially considering all of this flipping that's about to happen. So, the thing I don't get is, like I said before, these holes have to go under these tabs. But I guess I can utilize the hips to swing that around as it goes. Okay, and then the dino legs are just going to be out here doing what dino legs do. Okay, so get these out of the way. I think they're supposed to be like this. Okay, keep everybody together and happy, right? I assume that the hips need to be exactly lined up or else it won't look. The theory. A hip theory, okay. I mean, yes, that's exactly correct. You just pop that on, right? Just pop that on and everybody's good. Okay, so tail. Actually, having that pop off might be the best solution to the problem. Because now I can see what the heck I'm doing. Alright. I don't get, how are you supposed to line that up? At the same time that these have to go inside there. That doesn't even make sense. More forward movement, I can make this stuff. I think that will help. Get that back up in there. Yeah, being able to utilizing these knees, much like with Grimlock, the knee position was massively important, and it's one of those things that you don't know until you get it. And you can see the problem. The problem is it's just not wide enough, or just too wide, whatever. The clearance to get this last little part in is ridiculous. God, finally. Bless America. Okay. So that's that. Okay, that one's on. Okay, so that is definitely not recommended, but I can't see any other way to manage that. And actually, I popped off this whole spinal column here without even meaning to. Okay, so these guys, which I guess in theory should just snap right on, actually, because they just need to, yeah, just need to do that number. Yeah. And then all that will line up. If I had to assume, you're supposed to close that. Yep. Usually a good rule of thumb there. This one panel is just not very well aligned. Oop. That's a bad thing to have happened. Okay, and then that tabs into the crotch piece right there, in theory. Yep. Okay, and now this one will tab into that one. Okay, and then these tiny, I always love tiny painted tabs to hold stuff together. That's always fun. Once again, clearancing problems. Let me see here with the dino legs, because otherwise you'd have your legs sticking out really far, so I think that's meant to go in there. Okay, so let's line up all our posts for our tail, which is insane. Okay. It pivots that way. I think it's supposed to pivot up and down as well, but does not seem keen on doing that. Wow, the tip of the tail is really janky. Okay, so we can do up and down and side to side, but it is stiff. Okay, so I can tell that they did not clearance this chunk back here at all. So you can see there's a tiny difference here, and that's causing a tiny difference over here, I think. Could be a mold issue. So you can see that doesn't line up, and that part of the shoulder joint, so to speak, is meant to cover into that hole. Possible I did something wrong, but it also just looks like it doesn't fit. This is 100% the kind of thing that in the past has hindered Planet X. A little bit better anyways. Okay, so I have no idea which way the legs are supposed to go. I think I got it right. Yeah. That one's wrong. Did the feet extend? Or did I do? Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, wait a minute. I thought I felt the foot move earlier. Okay, so same problem on this one. Yes, I know this has taken a very long time. Transformers like this always do. And you can see right there, it wants to clearance that, and I feel like it's supposed to, like, legit. So I'm probably going to get a much smaller knife than this one, and I'll fix that right quick. Okay, got it after a lot of trimming, especially on this side. There's like a little nubbin that keeps that joint out of the way. There's clearly an alignment issue between back here and there. I mean, like, that is literally the exact distance. Could be a mold problem, could just be that it was molded ever so slightly out of whack. Definitely a challenging transformation for the legs, at least. Top end was only challenging because, once again, things didn't want to fit right, which I guess is the story of most of Planet X's problems. It's just things that don't want to fit right. I'm not sure. I guess that's just supposed to cover down on that joint. So I guess the only other thing I need to do, I gotta wait on getting batteries, and then he'll be good to go. I think the only thing that is kind of dumb, and I know it's technically part of this version of the character, is these back cannons. I think they're just kind of silly. The other thing is just like, it's hard to get some of these things, like the chest pieces here, or technically they're not the chest at this point, they're spine. Kind of a pain to work on. Not as big a pain as fitting these little back pieces here. I mean, the fact that it was intuitive enough that I did get it effectively without a whole lot of stuff. Like, the biggest thing is, of course, just clearancing for paint, which is something that Planet X has never been known to do. I guess it's a good thing there's no ratchets, although having ratchets that would 100% hold the joints in place the proper way would have been good. So, like, say it hits a specific ratcheting point in the legs, and then you know for sure you've got your leg joints in the right spot for dyno mode, you know, in particular. I will say that I guess you have to extend the front legs. Yeah. Okay, so I already had one side done, but not the other. So you do have to extend the shoulders out for the front dyno legs, or else you can't finagle that properly. Also, it does look like he just wants to stand flat effectively. I don't see a good way to maybe bend that. There's also kind of a weird major difference between the front toes and the back toes. Like, I would like to see a little bit more consistency with these. I know they're technically the robot feet, or robot toes at least. Let's see here. The tail is a little bit wonky with the way that it goes together, and honestly, I'm very scared that I'm just going to snap off every one of those, every one of the plugs that holds it together, because frankly, that instilled zero confidence when pushing that together. They don't clearance for paint at all, and that is bad, especially when you're working with such high-end stuff like this. But otherwise, I mean, it's a cool design. It's a weird, like, half Brachio, half Apatosaurus dino. Like, I guess if you extend the neck out and go for length instead of height, that's pretty cool. Or height. And that's the first time I've ever said height. in my life. So yeah, basically you need to add some screw covers. There's like a blatant screw right there. Like this chunk of the neck, blatant screw. You can't cover that unless there's a cover over piece, which I doubt there is. So let's see, I got spots here that I can do. Definitely here on the leg. It's pretty cool. But like I said, it's unfortunate. Like, so the thing to do would be buy another one, leave that one, like leave this one in this mode because I've already modded it to work in this mode, and buy another one that would be in robot mode forever, and then buy another Grimlock and can keep that one in Dino mode, I guess, because I already have Grimlock in other mode. But that's a lot of money. That's like, it'd be about $450 for another 2 of these. So, but you can see he's pretty big for a potato. Not necessarily keen on the shoulder armors being forward. I think they still look better sideways. I think that looks better, in my opinion, rather than, you know, like up and forward, like some kind of weird, like that looks weird. I mean, it makes him look like a big battle ready thingy, but still weird. Posability is lesser just due to the fact that the joints are crazy. The tail kind of just comes straight out. I think there's a little bit of movement here at the base where you can kind of droop it or make him very happy and then wiggly. So I mean, there's that, and then the neck can only do so much. You can be condescending. The bottom part of the neck that is the cover piece doesn't go side to side. It only goes up and down, which I guess is fine. And like I said, judgy little foot here. If the cannons were opposable, maybe that'd be cool. But they're, well, I guess they are. I didn't consider the fact that they would swivel on that same ball joint because they can go up and down. It's still weird. Also weird to have the spines. But I guess I had to figure out somewhere to put those. Oh well, it'll definitely be cooler once I get the LEDs powered up. So hopefully tomorrow I can manage that, and then sometime next week I can get a proper review film for this guy. It is not easy to transform him. So I guess I'll have to figure that out. I do like the, you can, why have the extra little boop on the nose hinge? Also the tongue, but I guess Grimlock had a big crazy tongue too. So either way, thanks for hanging out. It's a really long one. I probably added a whole lot of it out. So, see you later. Look at his big dumb face. Now complete with more lights. So I did finally get the lights, and this one's in the head. Get the one in the cannon. So that's an awkward one to turn off and on. And then back here on the dyno head. Which, by the way, these all work better than the Grimlock ones. So finally, Snarl is complete. The only thing that's wonky is that there's nowhere to really put his Autobot logo, except maybe right here. You know. Also, I didn't consider this. Normal, like, G1 Sludge has a yellow head and neck. I didn't consider that. This one's silver. But I guess you would put the Autobot logo right there on his snoot, as it were, the bridge of his nose, perhaps. So, if I decide to go ahead and doctor them up, I'll do it that way. But either way, Sludge is finally complete, and he's awesome. I love his big dumb face. Okay, got it after a lot of trimming, especially on this side. There's like a little nubbin that keeps that joint out of the way. There's clearly an alignment issue between back here and there. I mean, like, that is literally the exact distance. Could be a mold problem, could just be that it was molded ever so slightly out of whack. Definitely a challenging transformation for the legs, at least. Top end was only challenging because, once again, things didn't want to fit right, which I guess is the story of most of Planet X's problems. It's just things that don't want to fit right. I'm not sure. I guess that's just supposed to cover down on that joint. So I guess the only other thing I need to do, I gotta wait on getting batteries, and then it'll be good to go. I think the only thing that is kind of dumb, and I know it's technically part of this version of the character, is these back cannons. I think they're just kind of silly. The other thing is just like, it's hard to get some of these things, like the chest pieces here, or technically they're not the chest at this point, they're spine. Kind of a pain to work on. Not as big a pain as fitting these little back pieces here. I mean, the fact that it was intuitive enough that I did get it effectively without a whole lot of stuff. Like, the biggest thing is, of course, just clearancing for paint, which is something that Planet X has never been known to do. I guess it's a good thing there's no ratchets, although having ratchets that would 100% hold the joints in place the proper way would have been good. So, like, say it hits a specific ratcheting point in the legs, and then you know for sure you've got your leg joints in the right spot for dyno mode, you know, in particular. I will say that I guess you have to extend the front legs. Yeah. Okay, so I already had one side done, but not the other. So you do have to extend the shoulders out for the front dyno legs, or else you can't finagle that properly. Also, it does look like he just wants to stand flat effectively. I don't see a good way to maybe bend that. There's also kind of a weird major difference between the front toes and the back toes. Like, I would like to see a little bit more consistency with these. I know they're technically the robot feet, or robot toes at least. Let's see here. The tail is a little bit wonky with the way that it goes together, and honestly, I'm very scared that I'm just going to snap off every one of those, every one of the plugs that holds it together, because frankly, that instilled zero confidence when pushing that together. They don't clearance for paint at all, and that is bad, especially when you're working with such high-end stuff like this. But otherwise, I mean, it's a cool design. It's a weird, like, half Brachio, half Apatosaurus dino. Like, I guess if you extend the neck out and go for length instead of height, that's pretty cool. Or height. And that's the first time I've ever said height in my life. So yeah, basically you need to add some screw covers. There's like a blatant screw right there. Like, this chunk of the neck, blatant screw. You can't cover that unless there's a cover over piece, which I doubt there is. So let's see, I got spots here that I can do. Definitely here on the leg. It's pretty cool. But like I said, it's unfortunate. Like, so the thing to do would be buy another one, leave that one, like leave this one in this mode because I've already modded it to work in this mode, and buy another one that would be in robot mode forever, and then buy another Grimlock and can keep that one in dyno mode, I guess, because I already have Grimlock in other mode. But that's a lot of money. That's like, that'd be about $450 for another 2 of these. So, but you can see he's pretty big for a potato. Not necessarily keen on the shoulder armors being forward. I think they still look better sideways. I think that looks better, in my opinion, rather than, you know, like up and forward, like some kind of weird, like that looks weird. I mean, it makes him look like a big battle ready thingy, but still weird. Posability is lesser just due to the fact that the joints are crazy. The tail kind of just comes straight out. I think there's a little bit of movement here at the base where you can kind of droop it or make him very happy and then wiggly. So I mean, there's that, and then the neck can only do so much. You can be condescending. The bottom part of the neck that is the cover piece doesn't go side to side. It only goes up and down, which I guess is fine. And like I said, judgy little foot here. If the cannons were reposable, maybe that'd be cool. But they're, well, I guess they are. I didn't consider the fact that they would swivel on that same ball joint because they can go up and down. It's still weird. Also weird to have the spines. But I guess I had to figure out somewhere to put those. Oh well. It'll definitely be cooler once I get the LEDs powered up. So hopefully tomorrow I can manage that, and then sometime next week I can get a proper review film for this guy. It is not easy to transform him. So I guess I'll have to figure that out. I do like you can, why have the extra little boop on the nose hinge? Also the tongue, but I guess Grimlock had a big crazy tongue too. So either way, thanks for hanging out. It's a really long one. I probably added a whole lot of it out. So, see you later.